is Steven and Bridgetti, and today we're going to be looking at several different things. I'm just waiting for Bridgetti to join me, and I shall take that picture off screen. And I'm here myself. So, hello and welcome to the show. Now, if you found us on YouTube, well done. It's a bit difficult at the moment because we can't schedule shows, and we won't be able to do that until the new year. So, for the moment, what we're actually doing is giving you a link to our live page, which is the page that's only operational whilst we're live. And then after the broadcast, we go running around and change all the links so that you can actually watch the recording. So it's an interesting time. It does work. We did it on 5 days live last week, and on all 5 shows, and we had good viewerships and good engagement. It's just a little bit of a pain at the moment to have to actually do that. So I'm waiting to make sure that we're live. Okay, and we are. And hopefully you will notice, if you are watching live or on the recording, that the quality of my video is somewhat improved. And I'll say hello to our first viewer. As I say, I'm waiting for Bridgetti. Now, Bridgetti will explain why she has problems today. In fact, everybody in Cape Town has problems. I'm just amazed that she manages to go live so successfully, given the internet situation in South Africa and Cape Town, and also the electricity. But as I say, I will let Bridgetti explain. So welcome to the show. In this show, we're going to be talking about everything BeLive and YouTube. And starting next week will be a new series at this time, which is all about, just with me, all about, in 2 weeks' time, all about YouTube and how to get the best out of YouTube, because you've got to have a totally different approach to YouTube than one we've had on Facebook. You can't guarantee that people are going to come and watch, but there are things you can do to actually improve the replays. The replays on YouTube are, incredible compared to Facebook, in that we as YouTubers actually watch live videos 4 or 5 times longer than we do on Facebook. And that's the first positive of being on Facebook. The second positive of being on Facebook, on YouTube, is the quality of the video. And the quality of the video is vastly improved. I'm just watching Messenger in case Bridgetti does say something. But I can close down that tab, or it should improve things. I can go and come back, and as long as I can hear you, all is good. I can see Bridgetti arriving. And Bridgetti will be with me in a moment. So that's good. And just waiting for a thumbs up from Bridgetti. And yep. It was a wave, not a thumbs up. Hello, Bridgetti.
Hi, Steven. How are you?
I'm good. It's raining cats and dogs here, but you're in your summer, but you still have problems.
Oh my God. Yes, we've got summer though, and strangely enough, I mean, even though it's in the middle of summer, we've got power outages here in South Africa, and that's a long story. It's a really long story.
We're in no rush, but is there a short version?
The short version is gross mismanagement and misappropriation of funds for maintenance.
Ah,
Is it in a nutshell? And I was sharing this story with someone in the US the other day, and they were saying they were having a planned outage on Sunday, and people are so unhappy, but it's because they're moving electricity poles to make the road wider. You know, that's a
okay.
justified kind of reason, excuse. And I was telling her, well, you know, we're having power outages here in South Africa as well. And she said, well, what's your problem? I said, well, this is it, lack of planning, mismanagement, misappropriation of funds. And she laughed. She says, well, that's the kind of thing that happens in the States too. So I guess it can happen anywhere.
It can, but it's annoying when it does, because you're on battery power at the moment, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I've got some mobile lights going here. So if they go out, batteries run down.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll soldier on and see what we can make of it. But we're set. Right. Okay. And Alan has found us. Welcome, Alan. Nice to see you. Because I think somewhere, well, I know I've misspelt your name somewhere, Bridgetti. So I'm going to fix that afterwards. I'm sorry.
No worries.
And I think on the times, I'm going to start adding Mountain Time and Pacific Time as well, so there's no confusion. Right, the major.
Oh, yes, of course, we don't have that on YouTube. You don't have the time adjustments as you have on Facebook. So
No, when we're able to schedule, when we schedule events or schedule shows, then it'll all be taken care of. But for the moment, I've created the show cards, and I'm manually adding the time. And when Alan said earlier, the link's not working, I thought, we're not live yet. I've got 20 minutes to go. I'm sure I've got 20 minutes to go. But of course, Alan is on different time zone to Eastern. So we got there in the end. Thank you for joining us, Alan. The major thing that's taken place, that started yesterday, is in the way in which you add your camera on BeLive. Now, I know you want further changes, Bridgetti, and I'm sure that they will come. But I think this is a step towards reliability in the video, which we've been looking for since we started having problems. We had occasional problems, but since September, really, September, October. So, do you want to talk through it?
yeah, so a few people have been experiencing issues, and it's because of the power that your computer has to use when you are streaming. And to mitigate those kind of issues, and everybody's system is different. Some people have got new systems, and other people broadcast with really older systems. And of course, you've got no idea what kind of system your guests have got, um, unless you do extensive planning beforehand. And so one of the options that you've now got is to lower the rate at which you broadcast. So instead of going live at 720p, you can lower that now, which is great because it means that you have the option of greater stability during your broadcast. I know that I've requested further changes, and they are under consideration. But there's a number of changes coming that is making BeLive a lot more reliable and allowing us to have a great stream.
Yeah.
So all these changes in the last couple of weeks have been great, and we're looking forward to the ones that they're still busy working on. So a lot of the suggestions that we've made, things we've asked for, we see them starting to roll out, which is great. And I see a number of people have since they've made these changes, a lot of the broadcasts are looking so much better, and it's great to know that they listen to what the community asks and suggests. And one of the big asks was that we improve the quality of our streams, and it definitely has not fallen on deaf ears, which is fantastic.
I mean, there are very few places actually streaming at 720, and 480, as we heard, is DVD quality. So it's not lowering the quality so much. The default for host and guests is now 480. If you're still having problems, you can drop it down to 360. But I did a show with Angelica a couple of hours ago, and that worked fine. We're going live to YouTube, and the quality was pretty darn good.
Did you
So,
go live at 480p or
yeah, we went out at 480p,
both
and
both of you?
both of us, yeah, because that's the default. You don't need to touch anything at all. It's the only time you need to actually change the resolution is if you have a Ninja PC or Mac and you've got plenty of RAM and you've got a brilliant processor, then you could up it to 720. If, on the other hand, you've got an older PC, and mine is getting towards being an older PC, then if needed, you can take it down to 360. But normally you don't need to change it. It does it by default to 480. So we're looking forward to stability. But very few systems actually broadcast at 720. So I think we're just coming into line with everybody else. And we should see or experience greater stability in the quality of the video, unless we have a situation at the moment where
And Kelly's joined us.
he has, yeah. Kelly's here, which is good. He found us quickly, as he explained. Within 10 minutes of seeing it, he was here, which is good. Because that's the only thing we can do now is to actually, we can promote on ManyChat and we can promote by posts on Facebook. So I promoted on my profile in BeLivers, on BeLive in 5, and on the live video hub with a link. Right. That's a good question. I think that the download is still HD. I will check with Sophia about that, but I think the download quality is HD because that won't change. I don't think.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. Right. Now, we knew that this may happen. This is nothing to do with BeLive. This is the fact that in Cape Town at the moment, there is... Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Come to here. There are power outages in Cape Town, planned and unplanned. And Bridgetti warned me she might disappear. So I'm going to take Bridgetti off the screen. And Bridgetti's just disappeared off screen anyway. I'm going to put myself full screen. And I'm back. I'm going to take a comment from Alan and saying that's good news. Yeah, it is good news. We've all been sort of waiting for the quality of the videos to improve somewhat. And I think from now on, we can say hand on heart. The project will continue. But the quality I noticed early today was vastly improved from what it was. And that's what we need when we broadcast on a regular basis. So what I'm doing at the moment is actually working out a schedule for YouTube where we can be live 5 days a week quite naturally. So I'm going to be live on my own on Mondays at 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm going to be live with Fonz at 2 o'clock because that show started. And I'm going to be live on Fridays as well. So I'm just trying to sort out Wednesdays. And Bridgetti's coming back. Okay, so this is the power cuts. Bridgetti is running a whole studio on battery power, which includes the lighting and the computer. So just take myself off. There we are. And you're back.
And I'm back. So as you can tell, I lost the connection there.
This is going to be one of those shows.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, everything's right. Alan's keeping us going now. Right. Content on YouTube. I mean, I used to enjoy training. So I'm actually exploring YouTube because it's not just a question of going live on YouTube. What you actually want to do is to build an audience. And I'm investigating ways of building an audience. Now, I'm grateful to a gentleman called Brian G. Johnson, who in 2017 wrote a book about how to improve your YouTube channel. Now, most of that has stayed with me. So I'll be using that as the basis. Fonz and I, on the Tuesday show, it's come across from Facebook. We're not on Facebook anymore. That's Anything Goes, which is the music quiz and the general knowledge quiz, and Fonz and I just talking. And Friday is going to be solely about YouTube. So I'm still working on the program, Alan. I'll publish it as soon as I have it.
Now, I noticed you mentioned the other day that you haven't noticed a difference in audience participation when you go live on YouTube, download the video, and then do a premiere on Facebook and watch party, and the engagement is still much the same. And also that the viewers hasn't changed much.
It hasn't. It basically, by downloading and uploading to Facebook, which is the reverse of what we're doing, we're actually uploading HD video to Facebook, which Facebook doesn't do natively. So the quality of the video you're uploading is better than YouTube and Facebook can do. The second thing is that along with actually premiering the video, I've been running watch parties. Now, the first night I did the watch party on my own and got overrun by people actually commenting. And then the second night I was joined by Lottie, and we sort of did a team effort, and we got quite a few views on that, and they're still going up. And then with Marco, I did one on Tuesday night this week, and so we do have, I think we've got one more watch party to go, which is our show from last Friday. Doesn't time fly? Yeah.
Can you believe it? I mean, it's I cannot believe a whole week has gone by again since we've done 5 days live.
Yeah.
What happens to the time? It's crazy.
I mean, it's taken me a week to actually get the videos uploaded to Google Drive, so I'll be publishing that list tomorrow, so everyone can actually download and take clips out of any of the 5 videos or all of them and reposition them. But that 5 days live was a fantastic week because we did it all on YouTube, and we found an audience on YouTube, and that audience is staying. So it works. It works in reverse. YouTube to Facebook is as good as, if not better, than Facebook to YouTube. Well, Facebook to YouTube, we used to go live on Facebook and then upload the video to YouTube
To YouTube, yeah.
and cross our fingers. And I know from looking at not just my own account but several accounts that if you do that, then nothing happens.
Mm.
You can only actually start building an audience if you actually go live.
Correct.
And then as soon as you've gone finished, then the work starts, because
Yeah.
you've got to put in a title, you've got to put in a full description, you've got to add all the SEO tags that you want, you've got to add the cards. Now, what happens on YouTube, which doesn't happen on Facebook, which is quite wonderful, is that on a video, a single video, you can attach 4 other videos, so that when people have watched the one they're watching at the moment, they can just click the top right hand corner and they can see 4 more shows that they can actually go and watch. And that's happening. People are actually doing that. People are actually watching live or watching recording and then clicking the button. But there's a whole lot of work that's got to be done. I mean, I got a video at the moment which is climbing north of 160 views, which is pretty good because we're struggling to get that on Facebook, really. So it's very promising. Yeah. Are you going to be switching?
It's a very different environment. And you know, it's simply adjusting to doing things a little bit differently. And it's quite a switch, you know, because I think if Facebook was your main target for such a long period, you already have an established routine, and now it's relearning a new routine again and getting used to that.
It is. But the stats, I've got to say one thing, that the statistics that YouTube give out are just incredible. You can't see who watched, but you can see how long they watched for and everything. And a question from Alan. There's a disconnect uploading Facebook to YouTube. That's it. That's a good point. Alan is saying there's a disconnect uploading Facebook to YouTube. The YouTube audience feels left out. Yeah. Because I mean, for years I've uploaded Facebook Lives to YouTube and just left them. Yeah.
So you're not really you weren't really engaging with the audience at
Nope.
all. You would
Nope.
sort of, as they call it, a post and run.
It was a post and run, because the Facebook is 99.9% reliable, but on the off chance that anything happens to a video, to have it on YouTube is an insurance. So that's why I did it. But I didn't do enough of concentrating on building an audience. But now that we can go live from BeLive to YouTube, and we can have 4 people on screen, everything we've got on Facebook, I think we've got new opportunities.
And, the other thing that's worth mentioning is that very recently, Facebook has allowed the opportunity for people to invite a guest on their mobile phones.
That's
And
a
I
good
think
point.
a huge number of users have been doing that on Facebook. And they're now looking for an alternative
Mm-hmm.
to invite guests because you no longer have that option. And I think, I guess it was very useful, especially if you were on the run.
Yeah.
It was easy to simply whip out your phone and then invite someone to have a conversation with. And Facebook has now discontinued that service. And so people need to look elsewhere. And so one of the
Yeah.
tools that you can use is BeLive. And the nice thing about it is that you're not limited to simply having one guest. You can have up to 3 guests and yourself. So 4 people on screen, as opposed to what Facebook's offering was 2 people on screen. So the offering is better than what it was on Facebook. The only caveat being that you have to do this on your desktop.
Right.
You cannot start a broadcast on your mobile phone, and that again is a limitation by Facebook.
It
Not
is.
it's not a BeLive limitation.
Right, coming over to Alan again. Will you abandon Facebook? Right, well, use both separately. I mean, from my point of view, no, I'm going to be a gentleman. Bridgetti, will you abandon Facebook or use both separately?
Not at all. I don't think I'm going to be abandoning Facebook. It depends on what it is I'm broadcasting. There's certain things that I have a huge audience on Facebook for, and I'm not going to abandon them. While I do want to build an audience on YouTube, I believe there is a space for every platform. Every platform's got its own nuances.
Mm.
So no, I wouldn't classify myself as leaving Facebook.
I don't plan on leaving either. I mean, the show with David Burrows in Canada on Monday, 11 or 12 p.m. Eastern, will continue. The Blubbing for Britain will continue. Inspired by NVIDIA will continue. So that's 3 shows that are definitely going to continue on Facebook. So I think the split will end up probably about 50-50, 50% Facebook, 50% YouTube.
Yeah, I think so. That's about, I think that's a good split. And I think for me, it probably will be the same, round about 50-50. So I'm not going to neglect. I'm not going to neglect my audience
I know.
on Facebook in favor of YouTube. I want to build YouTube, but maintain the shows that have a great following on Facebook.
Yeah. Well, hundreds of our friends are actually on Facebook, so we're not going to cut and run or paste and run or upload and run. We're going to stay. Coming back to a point you made just then, Bridgetti, which is a good one. Well, they all are. Sorry, didn't mean to get a hold of. Was the fact that you can't actually start on BeLive or StreamYard or Zoom or any of the software providers at the moment. You can't start a show from mobile. And that's because the developers' terms and conditions say you cannot. Now, long story short, Ross Brand every year publishes, this year it published a 2020 vision from about 100 different people. And this is my 4th year in the list. And my prediction for 2020, and you heard it here first, is that there will be the ability to go live multi-person shows from your mobile. not necessarily phone, because it would be a bit difficult to manipulate, but you certainly should be able in 2020 to go live multi-person on your tablet. That's my prediction.
I think so too. I mean, there are some other software providers that allow you to go live, like Switcher Studio, for example. You can go live on Switcher Studio using multiple mobile devices. And so I think there is going to be a great adoption for that. And I can see that happening too. You know, perhaps, as you said, not on mobile, although I must say I found it quite easy to use Switcher. I didn't use it for a long time, but I certainly tested it.
Right.
And the way that they have the layout and presets wasn't that difficult to do on mobile. I was quite surprised at how easy it was to do on mobile. I think the prohibition is more currently on Facebook side, because I was able to test to Switcher Studio. I went live to LinkedIn.
Right. Okay.
And it worked brilliantly on mobile. It's not my first choice. I like a big screen. I really do. I'm not one for fiddling on a screen, but on a mobile phone. But I did find it was quite easy to manage on my phone. I simply wanted to test it. So we'll see what happens next year.
True. Because it would be nice if you could do it wherever you were on either mobile or on a tablet, then that would be wonderful. And a comment that's just come in from Alan, and Alan is saying, right, and this is back to Facebook and YouTube, some people, some potential audience won't use the other platform. So people on Facebook won't go over to YouTube, and people on YouTube wouldn't be seen on Facebook. I think that's fair, Alan.
It's a different audience,
Yeah.
Not everybody likes Facebook, and not everybody likes YouTube. And I know there's a lot of controversy around YouTube at the moment as well. Like with every other platform. So there's a lot of teething issues going through on YouTube with the new changes with the protection of children, which I'm not against. We should protect our children for sure. And a lot of there's a lot of I've seen so many people go live on YouTube talk about it, and it's probably just the uncertainty and a lot of people sitting on the fence about shouldn't we go that way. And both sides of the fence have got good valid reasons for how they feel, and people feel pretty strongly about their views.
They do.
But we'll see how that pans out.
Indeed, we will. And I was going to talk about something else, which I momentarily, how it happens. Well, let's put it this way: I was out shopping 20 minutes before we went live.
Oh, really?
So my mind is not totally on this broadcast. Yeah, I think we've got a YouTube. That's the point I was going to make. Last year we had an adventure and we went over to Twitch.
Oh, yes.
The Twitch adventure. And we were broadcasting to Twitch and broadcasting to one or two friends. And that didn't show any signs of changing, did it?
It didn't, but I have an idea, that we're going to be seeing quite a change in Twitch as well because of the monetization that it's offering. And there seems to be a huge leaning towards creators in Twitch. It was traditionally just a gamers platform, but there's a huge switch now. A lot more creators are gaining traction on Twitch. So again, it's also a different kind of audience. It's also about building your following there. But I do believe we're going to see some huge traction in Twitch as well.
Yeah, I just feel at home on YouTube, probably from having the account for 6 or 7 years. I've set myself a challenge of actually doing something with it in 2020. So I'm going to be concentrating on Facebook and YouTube. I mean, YouTube is a good reason for doing that because I've got to update the Udemy course. about BeLive, and that means I've got to know what's going on. So I'm going to spend the time between now and over Christmas finding out about the YouTube environment. There are YouTube groups on Facebook. This is because there aren't any YouTube groups because they don't have. So there are YouTube groups on Facebook, the YouTube groups on Reddit. So I'm going to be checking that out. That's my journey, and then I shall add what I find to the Udemy course. Comment from Alan. What are the demographics for Twitch? From your experience, Bridgetti, what sort of age groups are on Twitch?
I don't. It's very wide because it's really been a traditionally gamers platform, and gamers span different age groups. From very young to middle-aged people. There's a lot of middle-aged people that really enjoy gaming. So so it's the demographics are not bad at all. I don't think I can complain about that.
No. I mean, we can't go live on Twitch at the moment from BeLive. No doubt we'll be able to at some point in the future. Concentration is on getting the video quality right. The fact that you now can set the resolution of your camera is a good step towards that. Everybody's automatically been stepped down to 480. You don't need to do anything. You just need to go live, and it will work. And on that note, that BeLive is going to be working hard and throughout 2020, lots of new things to look forward to. And Bridgetti, I know that you have a power cut, and it's been amazing that you've sort of been here, but thank you, because it's always good when we get together. But it's over to you to close the show.
Well, a huge big thank you to Alan for joining us. It was great seeing you, and also to Kelly and anyone watching this on the replay. Thank you for watching. So from me in Cape Town, we have got a power cut at the moment. I want to wish you all a great weekend and a great week ahead, and we'll see you back again next week, and hopefully I won't have a power outage then. So have a great weekend, everyone. And absolutely.
Goodbye from
Bye, everyone.
Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye.